We are live on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Chris. We have I would say, pretty big matchup today. Probably the biggest game in the club season. The Champions League Finals between Liverpool and Real Madrid in Paris. I know that you are against Liverpool, but maybe you changed your mind since yesterday.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe my jersey could tell you what side I am on.
Well, that's an Everton jersey, not Liverpool
Yeah, exactly.
or
So,
Real Madrid jersey.
so by virtue, I am automatically against Liverpool here. I am anti-Liverpool in anything except for actually going to Liverpool to see an Everton match. Jurgen Klopp can chew on a golf ball, as far as I'm concerned. But
You're such a hater.
I'm not a hater. I just hate Jurgen Klopp. I think he's a pompous,
Why?
arrogant asshole.
Oh, well, he has every right to be,
To an
doesn't he?
extent, he has a right to be confident. He doesn't have a right to be arrogant. He's a prick.
Well, he won the Champions League, he won the EPL, he won a few other trophies. He's the only coach to take down Bayern Munich in Bundesliga. I would say he has every right to be more than confident.
I said he can be confident. He can, and I'm not just disparaging. What he's accomplished. You listed the accomplishments front to back. Absolutely, he's a fantastic manager. I just think he's a. I don't want an explicit rating on this show, so I'm going to keep my comments minimal.
Well, well, Chris, judging by the odds, the books are getting some bets on Liverpool because they are no longer plus 100 favorites. It's minus 103 right now. It's not a big drop, but still. Plus 270 on Real Madrid, plus 275 on the draw. I think the over dropped a bit. It's minus 148 now. Yesterday it was like minus 135 or something like that. So the bets are slowly coming in. I expect that the odds will drop on Liverpool a little bit more until the game time. But I'm not sure. Did you read any news regarding this game, Chris, at all? Or
No, I've kind of just been seeing if I could get a feel for the confirmed starting 11s. I'm still looking. I've had a bit of a bumpy
yeah,
morning, but
they're not gonna be confirmed yet. I think we can expect those probably around 1:30. So in about 2 hours. But I do have a possible lineups up here, and those are pretty much what you would expect. Alisson, Van Dijk, Konate, Alexander Arnold, and Robertson, the defensive four for Liverpool. Naby Keita, Fabinho, and Jordan Henderson. But I think that Naby Keita might be out, and Thiago will probably be in because he was confirmed as available and healthy yesterday. And Luis Diaz, Mane, and Salah, the top three for Liverpool. Any thoughts on that lineup, Chris?
Liverpool got to the Champions League for a reason. They have a solid lineup, especially up front. There's no knock in their defensive core either with Virgil van Dijk, sort of anchoring the center of that rotation. But I want to see how these wings are going to be able to hold up. I think that Vinicius Jr. I think is going to make life a living hell for Robertson and Alexander Arnold, and I think we're gonna have to see how Benzema and Van Dijk really go at it here. I think you're gonna see those two go head to head a lot in this game, and it'll be up to Real Madrid to really sort of to try to figure out the quote unquote Rubik's cube that has been this Liverpool defense.
Yeah, and as far as Real Madrid's lineup, also only a predicted lineup up here on SofaScore that I have. Courtois, Carvajal, Militao, Alaba, and Mendy, the defensive four. I would say that's a pretty solid lineup that they have been going out pretty much every game so far. Maybe instead of Militao, they will put in Nacho. I'm not sure, but I would say this is pretty much what you would expect. Now, the midfield four, those three don't change very often. The only thing that Ancelotti changes with these three is their positions in the field. But these three players are pretty much always in for Real Madrid, and that's Casemiro, Toni Kroos, and Luka Modric. Three of them together have won a lot over the last few years. They have won what, three Champions Leagues together. This is the fourth finals they're playing. They have won La Liga. They have won World Club Championship as well. Uh, I mean, altogether they probably have 100 years now. I think that Modric alone is 36. Casemiro is close to 30. Toni Kroos is 33. So very experienced midfield here between these three players, and they will be the engine of this Real Madrid team, and we'll see if that's going to be enough to beat Liverpool. While the top three here, as predicted, Chris, are Vinicius Junior, Karim Benzema, and Federico Valverde. Now, I do agree about Vinicius Junior and Karim Benzema. I am not sure that Valverde will be up there. I think I kind of expect either Asensio or Lucas Vasquez to be up there.
Yeah, I was thinking potentially Asensio there when you said Valverde. It kind of caught me off guard, but again, I think that you made a good point about the midfield being very very experienced. I think Luka Modric. I think you're going to see here is Luka Modric and Vinicius Junior paired up on the same side. I think you just have the playmaking ability of Modric, as well as the speed and the pace that I just mentioned with Vinicius Junior. And I think it's going to be a tall task for Liverpool. I'm not saying they won't be up to the task, but I just think that there is going to be a bit of a challenge here with trying to stop this Real Madrid attack. But again, I want to see how that forward line shapes out with if it is going to be Valverde going or like you mentioned maybe Asensio.
Yeah. Uh, Good afternoon, Pedro. Thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you here. I hope the weather in Portugal is nice and that you're going to have some fun this weekend. Uh, I mean, this Real Madrid midfield, Chris, these three players have won everything that could possibly be won on the club level for this team, and they are definitely more experienced than the midfield three of Liverpool. However, I gotta say that Liverpool's three, whether that is Keita, Fabinho, or Henderson, or Thiago, Fabinho, and Henderson, I think that these three players have a lot more energy in them, and I would say they have been a bit more consistent than the Real Madrid three. But like we said, Real Madrid has a lot more experienced roster than Liverpool does. However, that doesn't mean that that will be advantage for them here because Thiago alone has won the Champions League with two different teams already. This is his third or fourth finals, Champions League finals, and I think he will be in the lineup here. He's been playing outstanding as of late. He's been creating chances, assisting, and he's a very very crucial piece in that midfield of Liverpool, and we'll see how this will play out. I would say that in the middle of the field, Liverpool has a bit more advantage, but we've seen what Karim Benzema can do for this Real Madrid team this season, and he doesn't need a lot of space to take a shot on goal to create a chance for himself or for any other of his teammates. So I think it's going to be an interesting game, and at the moment, I don't think there's a lot separating these two teams, Chris.
Yeah, I know you're the soccer guy, but I think I couldn't disagree more. I think Real Madrid has the advantage in the midfield. I'm just saying if you put those three up, I'm just trying to remember who else was in the middle. I know you said Thiago. I know you said Henderson, and didn't you say Keita was in there? But Keita might get switched out.
Yeah, I think that Keita will get switched out, so I think we're going to see Henderson, Fabinho, and Thiago in the middle.
I can understand the allure of Fabinho and Thiago. Obviously, you mentioned Thiago's Champions League final experience, but side by side, skill wise, I would take Modric. Uh, I had the names and I just blanked right now. I would take Modric in the midfield. I would take Cruz, and I would take. God, you just said it. And I just saw I blanked again.
Casemiro.
Casemiro. I would take those three over Thiago's maybe the only one I would kind of throw in the middle of that mix, but Modric's playmaking ability, Casemiro, and God, why am I doing this today?
Kroos.
Cruz. There you go. I promise you guys, Goran just really made my blood boil with that. So I'm like, when you get really angry, you just start talking, you forget the point that you were trying to make. That's exactly what just happened to me right now. But No, I just personally I would take Real Madrid in the midfield over Liverpool.
You know what, Chris? Of this six players, seven that we actually mentioned, I would go with Modric, Fabinho, and Thiago. Honestly, I wouldn't even. I mean, Kroos. Let's be honest. He's an outstanding midfielder. He's one of the most consistent midfielders over the last decade for sure. And he's won everything. He's won a lot with Bayern. He's won everything with Real Madrid after. Uh, I mean, we always come back to that age thing because Liverpool, like I said, Liverpool is a lot younger in the midfield than Real Madrid is, and we know that Modric has been pretty much the engine of this Real Madrid team this season, despite being his like 36 years old. But this is gonna be a very hard game for them. I think that, simply put, I think that Liverpool will outrun them in the middle. To be honest. And the fact that Liverpool is playing the type of soccer where they like to have possession, a lot of possession, I think that might give Real Madrid midfielders a lot of empty running around, chasing the ball, and I honestly think that might kill them in this game.
Yeah, potentially could. I'm not disputing the age comment. I just think it's a one game final. I think you're not relying on these legs to carry you through an entire season again. I just Modric I think is just still one of the best playmakers in the world. I think Kroos is going to be right there alongside him, and even Casemiro. I think I don't know. I personally think that Real Madrid has the edge just based on Modric's playmaking ability alone. But again, we'll have to see. It's gonna. I'm not giving. I'm not saying it's like it's a world difference. I think they have the advantage here.
Now, Chris, let's talk about the fullbacks of both teams a little bit. We have Carvajal and Mendy for Real Madrid, and I do agree that these two are pretty much, especially Carvajal. He's been the standard right back for Real Madrid for the last 7 or 8 years, if not
Yeah.
more. Mendy is fairly new to this team. He's had season and a half, two in Real Madrid, but he's done some good job. However, I don't think they can measure with Andrew Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. Both of them had a ton of assists this season in DPL for Liverpool, and especially Robertson on that side, he's a bit more stable defensively. I would say that Alexander Arnold is, but the way Alexander Arnold has been playing this season, he's gone so far up, and he's been constantly going up and down, assisting, putting in crosses for this Liverpool team. I think he has like 13 assists this season alone.
Yeah, and all jokes aside, that I hate to compliment Liverpool players. The reality is that he has, like you said, he's grown leaps and bounds. We've seen Alexander Arnold really sort of take that next step forward in his game over the last couple of seasons, and this season especially. Like you said, he's going up there. He's making the plays that he has to make. He's coming back. He's tracking back and making the defensive plays as well. You could almost. I know this may sound like a bit of a reach to some. I would almost liken it to the style of maybe an Alfonso Davies of what we've seen from Davies as well, where Davies likes to make those runs. He likes to go up and help out, and the pace can get him to come back. I think we're seeing the same thing from Alexander Arnold. He's going to be a cornerstone of that Liverpool defense for years to come.
Do you see a better right back than Trent Alexander-Arnold in the world right now?
Give me a minute to think about that one.
I'm gonna say that I personally don't. I think he's the new type of the right back player, the player that kind of likes to cut in the middle, and yet he has physical capabilities to cover everything at the back. He's still very young. I think he's really fast, and like his long balls and crosses are absolutely amazing. I think he's kind of a, I don't know, a hybrid of a right back, simply not just a defensive right back or just, I don't know, something like a winger who's gonna stay most of the game up across the middle of the field. I think he's something in between those two, and I think at the moment he is the best right back in the world.
Yeah, I think he is too. I tried to rack my brain thinking if I could come up with somebody. The closest I could get was, and I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying the closest, maybe number two would maybe be Joao Cancelo or maybe Hakimi. But I like Alexander Arnold. That pains me to say, but I like his style. I like the way he plays, and I'm with you. I think he is the best right back in the world right now.
Yeah, I do remember last season or the season before, he was terrible defensively. He was
Oh yeah,
making so many mistakes, and he was guilty of a lot of goals for that Liverpool team. But this season, he stepped up his game a lot, and I can't believe that he was almost left out of the English squad for the Euro Cup this past summer. Actually, last summer, not this past summer, what we're talking about. And I know that England has like three or four solid right backs, but for him to be left out of the squad, that would be something else to see. I mean, I'm just not sure how can anybody left him out in his current form. Like we said, he is the best right back in the world.
yeah. There is competition. I'm not saying that it's a runaway, but Alexander Arnold is the best right back in the world, no question.
Yeah. Now, Chris, let's give a few minutes quickly to the central defenders of both teams. Van Dijk, I would say probably the best central defender, if not the top three, definitely in the world right now. His calmness and just his commanding stature. He's just like in charge of the defense pretty much in every game he plays. Sometimes he is a bit too casual, yes, but he always manages to be at the right place at the right time to kind of prevent a goal or a shot or whatever. And I think that Liverpool has a clear advantage here when it comes to the central defenders because as good as David Alaba is, he's been very good for this Real Madrid team. I think that Eder Militao is pretty much, I would say, the weak link here.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at the units as a whole, Liverpool probably has the advantage, but like you said, I think that David Alaba has been sort of the revelation and a bit of a step up spot for the for the Real Madrid midfield this season, and I mean, we're gonna have to see if he can really sort of carry that forward and really sort of keep it going. It's been great to watch how him really sort of blossom again, sort of find himself once again in this Real Madrid midfield.
Yeah. Now, what about the goalkeepers, Chris? We have Alisson on the one side and Thibaut Courtois on the other side. I would say that Thibaut Courtois has been more crucial for this Real Madrid team than Alisson had to be for Liverpool, just because of that defensive capabilities that each team has. But Courtois has been outstanding in the Champions League this season. He's graded at 7.32, while Alisson is at 6.65. I know that that doesn't have to mean anything, but honestly, of these two, I personally would pick Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, I think you can judge it based on a number, and I know a lot of people that maybe naysayers will say, well, what about when Courtois was in goal for all those goals against Manchester City, and you know the reality is that yeah, he gave up a few goals as well, but I think that just it doesn't necessarily reflect how he is as a goalkeeper on the whole. I think Courtois, one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. I like Allison, but I like Courtois just a little bit better. I think we've seen Courtois in these big spots before, as we have with Allison. We've seen him in a Champions League final as well. But I think yeah, I'm with you. I think I've got to give the edge to Courtois. You just watch the two play, and I like Courtois' style just a little bit better.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm a fan of Brazilian goalkeepers, to be honest. They always tend to, I don't know, lose focus or get wrapped up in their head and just kind of make those stupid mistakes that they shouldn't. I personally prefer the German goalkeepers. I do love Manuel Neuer and Ter Stegen and Leno before them, and even Oliver Kahn. Going back to Oliver Kahn, I can't believe that. But I think that German goalkeepers are probably the best in the world. But of these two, Thibaut Courtois is the one I would pick.
Yeah.
Now, sorry, Chris.
No, no, no. It's
What
okay. I
about the
was just gonna
coaches?
agree with you.
What about the coaches? I know that you're not a fan of Jurgen Klopp, and definitely Carlo Ancelotti. Don Carlo Ancelotti, to say it. He's definitely one of the best in the world. He's the only coach in history who won the league title in all of the five major European leagues. So EPL, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, and League One. I think he won the Champions League twice as a player. He won it three times as the head coach, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yeah, and an outstanding coach that always has something ready for whatever situation is on the field. He's always calm, and you can always see him chewing that freaking bubble gum at the side of the pitch. And I'm not sure how he has any teeth left, but yeah. And I also read, which might be good for us in Canada, Chris, that after he's done with Real Madrid, he would love to take over the Canadian national team.
I would not be upset at that at all.
And
I
he personally has said that it's not like some reporter said it or whatever. He personally said that if I'm not mistaken, his wife might be Canadian.
Yeah, why not? I'll take it. Oh, got got great pasta up here, but that's saying very much.
That's a lie.
Hey, whoa!
Just because we have a
Calm
lot of
down.
Italians up here doesn't mean the pasta is great.
That's exactly what it means.
No, I've tried pasta here. It's not that great.
Okay, yeah, craft dinner doesn't count. Um, I think for me, I think the only like you mentioned, Goran, for me the only thing bigger than Jurgen Klopp's ego is the list of accomplishments for Carlo Ancelotti, and I think I I think Ancelotti, I think Liverpool's players will feed off of Klopp's, as you like to put it, confidence.
Energy.
Confidence. I call it cockiness, but that's neither here nor there. Um, and I think that the players feed off of that, and even the fans do as well. But from a tactician standpoint, I got to give an edge to Ancelotti here. I think like you said, he's done it all everywhere he's gone, except for Everton. Apparently, I don't know how that happened, but I think it's. I
do.
think, you left that alone. You left me to set that up, and I appreciate that and hate it at the same time because I had to admit it. But Ancelotti, it's just there's nothing he hasn't seen, and he's not going to be intimidated by this whatsoever. We saw it against Manchester City. Allowing 4 goals in the first leg did not phase Real Madrid. Yes, they had to come back in extra time, but there was no lack of fight from this team. They're gonna be on the front foot. No team is too big, and no detail is too small for Ancelotti.
Look which punk has joined us in the live chat, Chris. Karim Benzema lover. Karim Benzema lover, and just because of that, she's gonna pick Real Madrid to win the trophy.
I mean, it's not a bad bet at all.
Yeah,
You
it
know where I
seems that
stand on
there's a
that.
lot of. It seems there's a lot of Real Madrid fans. Look, Madrid +1, Benzema to score. Nah, come on, you're gonna lose everything. Actually, it's gonna be 3-1 Liverpool, and you're gonna lose everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to reveal the fact that Gorn has been drinking before the live show started this morning. He got an
Maybe
early
they
start.
put something in
The pubs have been open early this morning for the Champions League final.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
put something in my coffee. I think.
Mm-hmm. That's a cup from 2 days ago.
Yeah.
No, I'm just giving
Now,
you.
Chris, we did talk about pretty much every aspect of this game. Of course, we don't know the lineups just yet. We'll have to wait for those for another like hour and a half, I would say. But let's get on with the picks. What's your official pick for this game, Chris?
So I'll go into the intricate plays later, the props, the goal scorers, but for full game, I'm going Madrid to lift the trophy. If anybody couldn't have figured that out by the stance on some of my points earlier, I just think that this Real Madrid team is legit. I think, for me, I'm trying to stay away from the 90-minute line at all costs in this game because I could definitely see this game going to extra time. I placed a bet on the 90-minute draw, but realistically, if you're giving me two teams to lift the trophy, I'm not laying -160, even as good as Liverpool can be. I think that Real Madrid this should be closer to a coin flip in my opinion, just given how everything is shaken out and the magnitude of this game. I think it should be a tighter line, so I'll take all the value I can get with Real Madrid in this one.
Now, Michael, I do see your comment here, and honestly, I would take personally, I would take Liverpool to lift the trophy and the boosted odds, whatever you can get at even money. I honestly would go with that, but my official pick for this game will be both teams to score an over 2.5, -108. Now, I'm not saying that. I mean, I do like Liverpool to lift the trophy, and it's -177 here without any boosts or anything like that in my book. I do see the possibility of this game going into the overtime. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to take Liverpool on the money line, because I do think this might go to the overtime. So I also like Liverpool and both teams to score. That's something to sprinkle on it. +255. But I think we see goals. I think we see a few of them, and I think we see at least one on each side. So both teams to score an over 2.5 at -108. That will be my pick here.
Yeah, I think it's a viable option, given how everything's sort of shaken out. But yeah, I'm excited. This has been one of the games that I've kind of really keyed in on game props. I know we talk about goal scores and stuff like that, but there's a lot that I think I like in this game.
Yeah, there are quite a few bets, and I was actually thinking about putting a 5 pack with only 5 picks from this game, but then I changed my mind. So uh, we'll not go with that. But let's go to the goal scorer props quickly, Chris. We got Salah at +135, Diogo Jota +180, Sane Mane at +180, and Luis Diaz at +245 for Liverpool.
Are we just going Liverpool scorers right now?
First Liverpool, then Real Madrid.
Okay, so for Liverpool, yeah, I think if you're gonna go with anybody, I think you've got to go with Salah. Um, you go back to I think was it 2018 when I think Liverpool played Real Madrid, and there was that really rough tackle on Mohamed Salah in that game.
Yeah.
I think he wants revenge here. I think he's been when he saw this matchup, I almost think he was a little bit like salivating a little bit at it. So I think you're still getting plus money for Salah as an anytime goal scorer. I think if you're going to bank on a Liverpool player to find the back of the net, should be Salah. I wouldn't be opposed to backing Mane either, but Salah's been waiting 4 years for this moment, so I think he's going to come out hungry and get a goal here.
I do agree, Chris. Salah at +135. I think that's a pretty good bet, especially because he scored a couple in the last EPL matchup last weekend, and that will kind of boost his confidence, and he's back on the goal scoring form. So I do like Salah at +135. I think he scores here, whether that's going to be a penalty or his signature play, like coming in from the right hand side and using his left foot to kind of bend it in that top corner or whatever. But I think he gets a goal here. Now, surprisingly enough, Chris, Karim Benzema is actually +143 to score at any time.
Yeah, I think that's a steal as well. Benzema, one of the two players that I really like to score a goal in this game. Whether they do or not, I think there's two players that I like, and Benzema definitely one of them, given the form he's had over the course of the Champions League.
Now, for some reason, Chris, I actually think that the books are kind of trying to lure us away from Vinicius Junior, because I'm looking at the odds here. So Benzema at +143, and for some reason, the second most favorite Real Madrid player to score a goal is Luka Jovic at +285, and Diaz at +285. When Vinicius Junior has +320 here in my book.
Yeah, I'm also seeing Jovic as the second most likely scorer for Real Madrid for me. And see, this is why we tell you guys to do your shopping. I'm seeing Jovic anytime at +175.
Yeah, but for a player that hasn't scored a goal this season, I mean, how? Why would he be the favorite to score a goal?
No,
just behind Karim Benzema. I honestly
no,
have no idea.
yeah, I know. I'm with you. I'm just saying the odds make no sense for Jovic at that point. I would,
Yeah,
like I said, I'm seeing. See, this is where I'm kind of scratching my head about some stuff. Maybe tell me if I'm wrong with this. I'm seeing on my, at least on my book, I'm seeing Diaz, Mariano, Juan Latasa, and Vinicius Jr. all sort of in the same vein in terms of anytime goal scorer prices around that plus 210 to plus 225 mark.
yeah. You are getting a very bad prices, honestly, because I have Jovic and Diaz at plus 285, and then I have Vinicius Junior at plus 320.
I wonder if I can get it. I wonder if maybe they boosted one and I'm just not seeing it. Give me a second.
Plus 320 for Vinicius Junior, the player that has been just behind Karim Benzema as far as the efficiency goes. He has a ton of assists. He has a ton of goals as well this season. And for some reason, Gareth Bale is plus 350. That guy won't even be on the bench. I mean, for this game. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. If whatever price you can get Vinicius Jr. at, I would take that. I think it's an absolute steal. He's been
Yeah,
involved in four of the 12 non-penalty goals for Real Madrid since the knockout stages began. And I think I mean we mentioned earlier how Alexander Arnold is the best right back in the world. Doesn't change the fact that he is going to really be up against it here with Vinicius Jr. I like Vinicius Jr.'s pace, and I think this is going to be a difficult matchup. So. I'm seeing a bunch of different ways that I think you could go in this match. So in terms of goal scorers, shot props, I'm even
yeah.
Goran knows I don't touch cards, and I think I might have found something that I like here.
Let me guess. Casemiro at plus 250. No, where is it? Plus 140.
For what, to be booked?
Yeah,
No, this is why you gotta do a little bit of digging for some of your parlays. I'm finding a boosted same game parlay of Vinicius Jr. over 0.5 shots on target, both teams to score in the match, and Virgil van Dijk to be booked at plus 1800.
oh wow, that's crazy.
So do your digging on your books, because if you're the book that has same game parlays and you find some of them that are boost, maybe even they're not boost, and you can find a great price on them. That to me is just is a great value. I'm gonna drop $10 on it. Why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's pretty likely for a central defender to get booked in a game, and Vinicius to have only one shot, like at least one shot on target. I think that's a steal as well. And that's kind of what I was looking here at player and team shots. I see Karim Benzema to have over 1.5 shot on target at plus 120. And then I have Salah over 1.5 shot at plus 125 as well. So you can get nice plus money for players that are likely to have a bunch of shots overall in the game, and you need only one or two to go on the target, and you win your nice plus money bet.
Yeah, I'm just in the middle of running and not walking to slap that bet
Yeah.
on
I also do see total shots on target between the two teams, including the overtime, over 9.5 shots on target at plus 100. That is including the overtime.
yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and with the game that we are expecting, like an open game with a lot of chances, I think that this might not be bad bet as well. Over 9.5 shots between the two teams, including the overtime guys. If that goes to the overtime, that's another half an hour where we can see at least 4 or 5 shots, like depending on the who's gonna be better and who's gonna be in better shape after the 90 minutes. But definitely some interesting bets going on here, Chris.
Oh, for sure. I think it's there when there's only one game on the card that's getting all the focus, it's a little bit easier to sort of zone in on those prop markets. There are a lot to choose from, but yeah, I think there is money to be made. I'm looking at. I don't know if we're planning on talking about anything else, but I like the second half to see the majority of the goals in this game. I'm just trying to find what the price is on that. You see both teams to score in the second half at plus 175. I really like that. Over 1.5 second half goals, minus 120. Like that as well. Half with the most goals, second half at even money. I love that.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's it, Chris, for this game. But we can quickly go through the MLS, some of the games that we have going on today. I personally love TFC against Chicago Fire. I like both teams to score at over 2.5 in that one.
Yeah, I like the both teams scoring over 2.5. I was actually kind of looking at Toronto FC and both teams to score. I think it was plus 300. But again, the volatility with TFC kind of made me alter a bit of a wager on that. But yeah, no, I like that game as well. And I'm just
I
trying to.
mean, arguably, we have two of the worst teams so far in the MLS, but two teams with quite a bit of talent, especially in the attacking end. And TFC snapped their streak without scored goals last weekend. They scored two. And Chicago, I mean, honestly, one of the worst defensive teams so far in the league. But TFC hasn't been better at all. With 25 conceded goals in 13 games, that's an average of almost two conceded goals per game. But like I said, they can score goals. They have now 18 scored goals in 13 games, and I think this is going to be a game where both teams kind of see their chance to snap their losing streaks and finally get a win. That's why I expect an open game here and a game with quite a few chances. So both teams to score at over 2.5 in that TFC against Chicago Fire. That's something I really like in the MLS today.
Yeah, I think so as well. It was hard. Normally, I like delving into the MLS. This card was a little bit more difficult for me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There's a lot of tricky matchups here, and I mean most notably for me the news. I'd say most notable news in MLS for me is the potential that Diego Valeri could have played his last match for Portland Timbers. They're talking about his potential immediate retirement. He let the club know and let the other players know that that could have been his last game for the Timbers. So
Did he got injured or something?
I don't know if he got injured. I know they were just saying that he had spoken to the rest of the team, saying that this could be his final game against Inter Miami.
Oh,
I'll have to see, but that was something that kind of came across my timeline this morning.
yeah, that's too bad. He was one of the most, I would say, most prolific players in the MLS over the last decade or so. I think he hasn't played anywhere else other than Portland, right?
I was gonna say when you say Portland Timbers, the first name you say, or the name you automatically synonymize with that is Diego Valeri.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to pull it up right now, just trying to see if he has played anywhere else. I can't recall.
Yeah,
Um,
and one more game that caught my eye, Chris, is Kansas against Vancouver. And I see the over 2.5 at minus 108, just the over 2.5. And the reason that caught my eye because Vancouver has been scoring a lot of goals lately, and they are in good forms. But so is Kansas City as well. And we have both teams that are scoring quite a few goals right now, but they're also conceding goals. And both teams to score have been hitting a lot in their games. So I do like over 2.5 in that game as well. And honestly, I have that as a preview. I have Sporting Kansas City versus Vancouver. I have over 2.5.
yeah, I think it's a Vancouver. I think has been the most disappointing team in the MLS this season, but not that it's really been much of a surprise. I mean, Vancouver has been struggling for much of the season, and I don't know how many results they're really going to get this season. So I think they have to try to take advantage when there is an attainable result. But against Sporting Kansas City, it's not one of them.
Yeah. Well, Chris, we did cover a lot. You got anything else to add?
No, it's been a good season. I'm excited for the game today, and just tune in, kick back, sit back and watch. But there's still gonna be some solid soccer action. Just do your research, keep looking because there is money to be made in them Nar Hills, but don't have to necessarily go to the bigger leagues to do it. So just keep on it.
Exactly. And we have the national teams coming back in a few days as well. UEFA Nations League is about to start in, I think, June 2nd or June 3rd. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, we have those games coming back soon, and I think for the next couple of weeks. After that, players are gonna go on the break, and in July we are getting the Champions League qualifications already, Europa League qualifications, the Conference League qualifications, and before you know it, it's gonna be August, and the seasons are gonna start. They are gonna start a bit earlier because of the World Cup in November, but it's gonna come back pretty fast, guys. So make sure you stay tuned. As far as my previews go, I had a 5 pack today that has gone down because some games have started. But I will have a 3 pack for the MLS up pretty soon. So check that out if you want, guys. And of course, if you want NHL, MLB, or NBA, stick with Chris. He has I'm gonna say a 5 pack for today.
No, just a 3 pack. I got that $15 play up there as well. But making some money with those. Hope to do it again. But again, Goran said it. Pair us up. You can get soccer. You can get major sports, North American sports. Get best combo, best of both worlds.
Exactly, guys. That's it for today. Let's get ready to watch some great football. It's gonna start in about 2.5 hours. I think the pregame show and whatnot. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and let's win some money.
Good luck, everyone. Let's make some cash.